G'day cocktail lovers, I hope you've been keeping well. I've been struggling along with our lockdown here in Melbourne. I personally am almost at the halfway mark of this initial lockdown. If you want to know what that means, it means there is literally a curfew between 8 p.m. and 5 a.m. Not allowed to leave my own property, and even during the day I'm not supposed to go more than 5 kilometers from home unless I have a really good reason. But it is working. The number of cases are going down, so hopefully in 3 weeks lockdown will actually be over and we'll start to get to do a few more things. Until then, I'm staying at home and drinking and ordering stuff through the internet, which I get very excited when it arrives in mail, as I was when this arrived today. Well, actually a few things from the same place, the Applewood Distillery in the Adelaide Hills in South Australia. This is a special limited edition gin that you can no longer buy. It's already sold out. It's a finger lime gin. As they say, we're ever enchanted by the humble finger lime, which is a native to Australia plant. Here, its iconic flavour has been enhanced by cafe lime leaf and our champion desert lime, with a hit of herbaceousness from basil for a truly citrus-forward Australian gin. And I did have a little taste test of this, and it certainly is citrus-forward. It's got a really nice, it's more like the citrus oil zing than citrus juice. It's really quite good, and it's kind of obvious what to make with this, I thought. There are a few lime gin cocktails, and that's exactly what I'm going to make, a gin gimlet. In fact, a special variant of a gin gimlet that I found when I was looking up recipes. It's called a Limey Gimlet, that was invented by Simon Difford. He has it on his Difford's Guide website, and it basically brings together the two famous British Navy spirits, the gin and the rum. So it's basically a gin gimlet with a little bit of rum as well, and I've never made one of those before, so I'm looking forward to trying it now. Now, you might think I'm being a bit unfair saying, oh, I've got this really interesting gin that you can't have, but the reason I wanted to use this is to really highlight, I think, wherever you are, there are probably local distillers doing really interesting things, and it's really worth seeking them out and finding something that gives your drink a local flavour, because we can all follow, the same ostensible recipe for a cocktail, but when you're using, different gins or different rums, different brandies, different whiskies, different vermouths, the actual drink is completely different depending what you go for in there. So I really do recommend seeking out some local distillers and see what they have on offer. I am going to go with the finger lime gin for this limey number. Front and center, of course, is the gin, and I'm going to use 2.5 ounces or 75 mils of gin in this. On the rum front, I'm just using half an ounce, 15 mils. The recipe suggested a lighter rum. This is the lightest one I have at the moment, a Flor de Cana. But as again, it's always worth experimenting with the different rums and seeing what difference they make. So I'm going to go 15 mils of the Flor de Cana. Classic gin gimlet recipes say to use a lime cordial. Often Rose's lime cordial is mentioned. Most modern recipes will actually say go 50-50 with fresh lime juice and a sugar syrup, and that's what I'm going to do. But if you have an appropriate lime cordial, by all means do that. I've got some lime juice that I squeezed earlier, so 15 mils, half an ounce of lime juice. And I'm also adding 15 mils of sugar syrup. Now this is a sugar syrup I made, it's known as oleo saccharum, which is oil and sugar, rather than just sugar and water to make the syrup. I've got the peel of citrus fruit and covered them with sugar, and the sugar draws the oils out of the citrus peel. If you're not patient enough to wait a day or so for that to fully happen, you can accelerate it by muddling the peel and the sugar together, and that will accelerate the process. But after a certain amount of time, the sugar will basically draw out so much oil from the citrus peel, it will liquefy, and then you add the water to that, strain it to get rid of the remainder of the peel, and you get a very citrusy sugar syrup. And because this was lemon and lime, and I thought that was particularly appropriate for a gimlet. So I'm also going 15 mils of the oleosaccharin sugar syrup. That's all the ingredients. Now we want to give it a good shake. Shaker filled with ice. Shake for about 10 to 15 seconds until you can feel it's good and cold. Finally, straining that into a coupe I've had chilling in the freezer. I don't need to double strain this because I fine strained the juice when I originally squeezed it, and I'm not particularly bothered if some little shards of ice get in. So just using the Hawthorn strainer, into the glass we go. And there we have a Limey Gimlet. And yeah, it's got very light citrus notes coming off it. Because I used a lighter rum, there's no real strong aroma from the rum, just the 15 mils in there. But time for the taste test. Oh, that's interesting, because I mean, I've made gimlets before, and they're very simple and really quite bright and refreshing drink. That little bit of rum just gives it an added level of complexity. Of course, it's a fun tribute to the many years where the British Navy gave the sailors booze every day. That only finished in 1970. But yes, a Limey Gimlet, an interesting twist on a classic, and I think the finger lime gin I used is very well suited, but like I said, you actually can't get that, even if you're in Australia. It's sold out now. But there are a lot of citrus forward gins that would lend themselves particularly well to a gimlet or a Limey Gimlet. Thoroughly recommend you give it a go if it's not one that you've had. The Gimlet is a classic for a reason. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope to see you again soon. If you're not already subscribed to this channel, it would be great if you did subscribe. Click the little bell so you get notifications when I upload new videos. And yeah, let me know what you like in a gimlet, if you have a preferred gin, or if there's something else you'd like to see me make. Always interested to hear from you. But in the meantime, I'm going to finish off my Limey gin. Wish you all the best, and for now, cheers.